Welcome to another Stay Woke podcast presented by the SonicBreakdown.com. This is D-Ray Brinson, and we got your boy, William West, in the building one more time.
Thank you for having me again.
Appreciate it. So I want to thank everybody for checking in for another Stay Woke podcast. Let's get right into it today. Today we're going to give the ladies some love.
Okay.
Because the ladies need love too. Actually, they need love more.
And you know about the ladies, right?
And exactly. Will's about the ladies. If you didn't know,
I learned from you, actually. I'll put that out there. I'll give you props on that. I learned from you.
Hey, he's lying. He's lying. But we're going to give some of the female lyricists some love today and highlight the female MCs out there that should be getting more love than they are. In a previous podcast, we gave love to the New York rappers. So we're going to give love to the female rappers.
Is that what we're going to do today?
That's what we're going to do.
Let me put a disclaimer out there real quick before you get into to your discussion and your list. I'm really picky about female MCs. Reason why?
I was about to ask you, why is that?
Reason why is because I grew up listening to real dope ass lyricists. I'm just gonna say lyricists in general.
Yeah, because
before I even say the gender, right?
We don't need to qualify. If you're a dope MC, you're a dope MC.
If you're a dope MC,
male,
you're
female,
a dope MC.
A kid, adult, you can be an alien. If you can spit, you can spit.
A dope MC is a dope MC. With that being said, being such a fan of hip hop, I'll even say it and raise my hand. I'm such a hip hop nerd. I'll go ahead and shout out some names that I grew up on and that I cherish and I hold on as a top list of mine favorites. You know, straight off the list in no order. You know, Rod Digga.
Woo.
Lauryn Hill.
Woo. Speak to him.
Missy Elliott.
Woo.
Even Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Rest in peace. Who else?
I'm gonna hit you with
Eve.
MC Lyte.
MC Lyte, Queen Latifah
on some real. Hey, if you sleeping just because she sing now, just because she sing now, don't sleep on Queen Latifah.
Just because she on TV, don't get it twisted.
Yeah, she had them lyrics, bro. She had them real dope lyrics.
MC Lyte though, MC Lyte.
Yeah, MC Lyte was
Lyte.
To me, that's the epitome of.
That's the holy grail. So let that be said. I just want to start off with that. Before you get into the list, I'm just gonna let you know that I'm really biased, and I'll even be super honest and show you. I'll even bring you into my world and how I listen to music. If I listen to a female MC and it's brand new, and she spits 2 bars, I'm already either engaged or I'm turned off.
That's real.
So I'll just let you know. But let's get into it, man.
All right, so we gonna start the list off with a heavy hitter. Like,
ooh.
I don't mean by weight. I mean by dropping them lyrical bombs.
Is she thick?
She is thick. Rhapsody does look nice. I'm just putting that out there.
Oh, Rhapsody. Okay, shout out to Rhapsody.
She's an attractive lady.
She's beautiful.
No disrespect.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful inside and out. Seriously, on a serious note, Rhapsody to me, right now for me, she's the MC Lyte of the game right now. She's the MC Lyte in this game right now. She's that one. And let me rewind a little bit and go. The first time I heard Rhapsody and really knew who she was and understood it was when I heard Kendrick Lamar's oh my gosh, Colors.
Okay, that's when you started paying attention.
That's when I was like,
you were tuned in.
Whoa, who is this? Like, she killed it on that track. Like, literally, I talked about it. My other partner from high school, Matt, we talked about it. I was like, yo, who is this? Like, I literally heard the song and I sent him a text and said, yo, who is this? Who is Rhapsody? And he was like, I don't know, man. And we just both started doing our research because, like you said, when you said those two verse lines in that song, the 2 verse lines, I was like, that's it. Instantly,
I'm
she's
engaged.
that dope. I'm engaged. I have to know what else she gonna say? What else is she gonna talk about?
That's the dope meter. That's how you can
And
gauge that.
she literally went in, and then from that point on, I checked out. And again, I want to give praise to Matt because he's the one that put me on. Is he let me know that they re-released Beauty and the Beast, and so I
Deluxe
checked the
version.
album out, the deluxe version, and
Yeah.
when I checked that out, I was like, "Yo, she's not just a one-line wonder. She's not just a one-verse wonder. She's killing it on this album.
Yeah.
That whole album, I praised it several times on this podcast. I praised it several times on the sonicbreakdown.com website because I can go back to that album anytime and I can play it one through the whole album because she lyrically kills it. The beats, her production that she chooses is amazing. Again, I just can't overstate it. She's just dope. The first line on that song is, I skip on water, I could walk on ice. If hell froze over, I'd
That would
still be nice.
nice. Ugh.
Like that line right there, that's the first line, the very first line in the album, and I was like, "Woo!" I was like, "She's spitting fire."
I gotta give props to first and foremost. I gotta give props
Ninth
to
Wonder?
to no first. Just going back to what you were stating when you first heard her, when you first heard and started paying attention, you were tuned in. I gotta give props to Kendrick to
Yes.
actually put her on.
And it was actually complexions. I'm sorry, not colors. It's complexions.
I gotta give him props for bringing her into his listeners, and to even brand new listeners to her.
Yeah,
Because-
because I wouldn't have found her if it wasn't for
Yeah.
him. And I want to thank, like you said, thank you, Kendrick, for doing that.
Yeah.
Because
because he didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And he actually said it. She's doing her thing. She's dope. I respect dope MCs, and it's just like it's real recognized real at that point.
Exactly.
And he said in an interview, I wanted to get her on. Like he didn't have to do that. That's to me that's a random put on compared to all of his
Yeah.
other projects. But he did it. You know what I'm
and
saying?
she fit, and it's
Yeah.
not, and it's
it,
not,
and it fit.
and it's not like he just put her on to put her on.
Yeah.
He put her on because she was good.
It worked.
She deserved it. She
was a
deserved that
sync.
spot, and she, as you were saying, she fits that song. She fits the song perfectly. Her content fits the song. Her style fits the production. It was a good. It's just an overall good song.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty and the Beast is a very good album.
Awesome project.
And even before that, the idea of Beauty, which again, based on Kendrick putting her on Complexions, opened my world up to so many more music based on that. Because like I said,
And that's what it should do. That's what
exactly,
hip hop
and
does.
that's the beauty of
When
it.
we were kids, that's what it did.
Exactly.
You listen to one person, it led you to another one.
Ex-
You buy that album, you open up that book, and you fall in love with the whole kind of just vibe, the whole connection. You start putting the dots together, man. It's-
Exactly. That's
you're
how I feel
bringing
in
it
love with
back.
Wu-Tang. I listened to Method Man and I was like, oh wait,
Yeah.
he's part of a group?
Yeah.
I was like, he's just one component of a group?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I got to check out RZA. I got to check out Ghostface. I got to check out Rick One. I got to check out.
Put the
check
dots
out,
together for hip hop.
Exactly.
Man.
And it opens that door. And then you're like, oh, well, Method Man did a song with Redman. Let me check out Redman. Then you check out Redman and you're opened up to a whole new world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it just, that's the beauty of music. That's the beauty. It brings people together. And like I said, thanks, like you said, thank you to Kendrick for opening the doors to give me the
And then
Complexions.
before that, for sure, I got to give it up to her producer, overall kind of founder, and one that's been vouching for her in the game. And I'm a big hip hop head, and I'm a big head on just producers in general. So Ninth Wonder, man, Ninth Wonder is the one that's pushing her for the forefront, and man, everybody's saluting her. All the OGs are saluting what she's doing right now. And what she's been doing, because it's not right now where she's been hot.
Yeah.
No, she has a catalog, so definitely
Yeah.
go into that catalog.
Check-
Go into mixtapes. Go on YouTube. Check out the interviews. The whole works for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. At least these two albums, I know for a fact, for me, I consider dope. Beauty and the Beast and The Idea of Beauty. Both of those albums are very well done, and you can see the growth from The Idea of Beauty to Beauty and the Beast. That doesn't mean Idea of Beauty is subpar or anything like that. But again, just because you see growth, that doesn't mean that one project is less than another.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that you can see the elevation, you can see the progression. And read the review that I did on Beauty and the Beast on the sonicbreakdown.com. I did it under the top 10 albums of 2015. I'll put it up there because again, I thought it was that well done. Lyrically, she's coming with it. Will just said she has Ninth Wonder as a producer. That tells you all you need to know. Production wise,
it's a done deal.
It's done.
And he's just not the only one.
Exactly.
But when you get that high caliber of a producer, it's a done deal.
Yeah, it's a done. The production on that album is high class. The lyrical content is high class. The concept is high class. Everything is very done. Is done very well.
Stamp of approval.
One of the tracks that I do want to mention that resonated with me immensely was The Man. So let me give you some background into The Man. Is that the Man is about a story basically about a young man that has to take care of his family because he's the man of the house. With that being said, that is something somewhat I can relate to, is because my father wasn't around when I was young. I had two younger brothers that I help take care of and I don't want to say raise, but help maintain. So that idea of that mentality that it's a mentality that you adapt. It's not a mentality that you're innately given. It's you realize there's a point, at least in my life, there was a point that it came to where I realized like, all right, my situation is different than I see in other people's. I see that they have a dad, they have a mom, and they take care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
In my situation, it was my mom and us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized that's a lot of responsibility on her. And I don't know if at that point I can articulate it to the extent that I can now, but I did feel that responsibility of, I got to grow up. Like there's no, I can play, I can do this, but like shit got to get done. Like things have to happen. Like, no, you got to get home. You got to do your homework. All right, I'm going to cook this dinner because mom's at work. Like, your mind changes and that affects you. And she captures that emotion, that mentality to even a different degree than I had to, because even though I took on those responsibilities, luckily we had a strong support system with my grandmother, my aunt, my uncle, even though they weren't in the same state as us, that we had that support system by means if we needed something really, really bad that we needed to take care of, like when we were in a bind, we can rely on them. The situation that she talks about in the story is somebody that doesn't have that support system. If they get in a bind, he got to go hustle. He got to make it happen, like, because cats got to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you have to force movement.
Yeah, like you have to force movements, and that, from that perspective, like that's what I'm saying. Like, even though it resonated with me, and my situation even isn't nowhere near that to that extent, things were where I did have to make sacrifices and things of that nature. It really brought those emotions out of me, and it allowed me to again resonate with the song even deeper. And that to me shows the realness of the song, that her storytelling ability, that it allows you to connect. Those are the things that to me stick with me when it comes to hip hop. Like I said in a previous podcast about Ghostface Killer with the song with Mary J. Blige, like that song resonated with me because it related to some of the situations I was living in, and this resonated with me based on some of the situations again that I was living in. So like, it gives you real life stories, but again, she presents it in a manner because she's not this little boy. She can't be this little boy. She's a grown woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but she can relate that story that somebody that was in that position can feel it. And to have that ability to emote those feelings in a situation that you've never been in, but that maybe you have observed, to me takes skill, as well as the fact that she did it the way she did it over the beat, and what the story signifies. Because there's a lot of kids out there that are in those situations. There's a lot of single parent families out there that are dealing with these things, and if this song can give them hope that they can do better, or that there is another way out, or that there's other aspects or other avenues for them to go on, then that's something we should look into. And that we should praise her for having the ability to have that storytelling ability, because one of the foundations of hip hop is storytelling.
And not everybody can do it.
And no, we know, we know not everybody can do it. It's a very hard.
Sorry, Drake.
It's a very hard thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do, and that's one of my favorite rappers tend to be storytellers because I do understand how hard that is to do, as well as to do it in rhyme.
Shout to Slick Rick.
Slick Rick, the art of
Nas.
storytelling. They just had the anniversary of it, I believe, last week. So, brush up on your history. If you don't know, the art of storytelling part 1 and part 2, Slick Rick, check it out. Rakim, Nas, the list goes on and on of DMX. Hey, look at that. They're great minds think alike. Those are, and when you ask any real hip hop head, they'll tell you that storytelling MCs tend to be higher on that list than not, because real MCs understand how incredibly hard it is to have a complete story that you can follow from front to back that rhymes.
And started from scratch.
And
that's
exactly,
the biggest
started from
thing,
scratch,
man.
started from nothing.
Yeah.
Basically, Rhapsody with that song to me was William Shakespeare. You know what I'm saying? She's telling the story just as well as he did. You know what I'm saying? But she won't get that credit. But that's the life of hip hop.
Yeah, in due time.
I do want to say, give some background information on Rhapsody. She is from Durham, North Carolina. So she's somewhat of a South rapper, but she has very strong New York roots. You can just tell by her flow, her cadence, her rhyming schemes. Nothing taken away from the South, but that might explain some of her storytelling abilities. Because
We can
the
just
South
say it's
is known-
country. We can just say it's country
yeah,
overall. Just
is known for their
just
storytelling.
because she's not fully South. I never understood that. I never said that North Carolina, South Carolina is South, but
It is.
it's those
Trust
regions
me,
always
when I
get
was
me
living
confused.
in Atlanta, they consider that's South. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's country overall.
Like we said, Ninth Wonder is a crucial part of her crew. Also, she toured with Fonte. One of the
Little
tracks,
brother.
one of the tracks that I heard earlier, with Rhapsody was with Mac Miller.
Yes, that's
and-
an awesome dope track.
Yeah, so that's another track that
They got
I-
two together.
Yeah, that I found out after the complexions with Kendrick. I do want to mention as well.
Which one are you
as-
talking about? Is it extra extra?
No, I did hear that, but I
Yeah.
heard it
Real
is-
G's don't fall in love.
It is slipping my mind right now. It is Roundtable Discussion
Okay.
with Cool Kids too, and that's off of The Idea of Beauty. So I just want to say that she has a diverse ability of productions that she can write over, that she can go over. It's just that those really hard hitting, classic type of hip hop, I feel like she excels at the best. Not that again, she's diverse in her production that she can write over. Those are just the best ones that she excels at. Some of the rappers that she, and even before finding this information out, again, if you look at the sonicbreakdown.com, she cites Jay-Z, Mos Def, Lauryn Hill, MC Lyte as her musical influences. When in my review, I say I hear MC Lyte, Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah, and Rakim. That's what I heard without knowing her influences. And now hearing her influences, it makes sense because Mos Def, Jay-Z, Lauryn Hill, MC Lyte, or some variations of what I said. Mos Def's a storyteller too. Underrated storyteller in my book. He's a dope MC, just period. Or as he's going now is Yasin Bey.
Yeah.
Either way, whatever his mama called him Mos Def, I'm gonna call him Mos Def. Okay.
I can't accept the new name. It's always gonna be Mos Def.
So-
Always gonna be Mos Def.
So that's what I knew him as. I just tend to go back to that. But either way it goes, I respect him. I respect his lyrical abilities. But going back to Rhapsody, I think she's worth listening to. To me, again, like I said, I think she's killing the game when it comes to female MCs right now. If you haven't checked out Beauty and the Beast, definitely check that album out.
A moment in silence right now for everybody to go download that right now. One. Okay.
Okay, they got it. That's an album you need to listen to from front to back. nonstop. Like I said, from first line to the last line, she goes in.
Yeah, and it is an album that you can listen to from beginning to last, even through the small in between skits.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Um,
perfectly put together.
check out her discography. Check out The Idea of Beauty as well. That's a really good album as well. Um, she has a mixtape called The Return of the Bee Girl. That's something that you should also
I have
check
that.
out.
Classic.
That's a good album. So just check out her discography. She's really worth listening to. You know, give her some love, give her some shout outs. You know, buy the album, download the album, listen to the album, give her the love she needs so that she can get to the platform that she deserves to be on. She in my eyes she deserves to be on the same platform, the same pedestal as Kendrick. Um, that's just I'm just being real. Like I think she's that good. They're in different lanes. They do have similar content, but they are different lanes. But they deserve that. To me, they deserve the same amount of buzz. So give her the same buzz that you give him.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna continue to praise that album, Beauty and the Beast, until eventually the world knows it as well as I do. Because as Will knows, I constantly tell people about that album. Because again, I think it's really that good.
2 thumbs up from me. I salute her. She's the female Kendrick. She's the female J. Cole.
Yeah.
She's of the same, I would say, class.
Come from the same cloth.
Yeah. So definitely, I definitely put my vouch on that one for sure. And I think we can end the podcast now on Just Rhapsody.
Just Rhapsody, we can end it. We could, but
man.
we should give some more females some love. Some
Bro,
of
we
the
got a
ladies some
list.
love.
After Rhapsody, we have a list. Huh?
Yeah, we got a little list.
We gotta keep going.
Yeah. let's. The next one on the list is Remy Ma.
Yes,
Remy Ma's been around for a minute.
my favorite.
She would have. I think she would have been a lot more relevant, excusing her.
Vacation.
Yeah, we'll call it a vacation. A vacation not of her own doing. Well, it is of her own doing, but not of her own volition. Let's rephrase that.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened. But as
Yes.
we know, Remy
Yes,
Ma
she went to jail.
Yeah, she went to jail. She was released. I
Prison.
knew about Remy Ma through Terror Squad.
Yes.
That was my introduction to Remy Ma is through Terror
Yeah,
Squad, specifically Fat Joe.
The first time, and rest in peace, Big Pun. Big Pun is actually a person that actually found her,
Oh wow!
related to her, and brought her to the crew, brought her to Fat Joe's attention. So Big Pun found her. Big
Wow.
Pun was in no position of being a CEO or A&R at any time, but that was his move as that position, right? But he
saw
brought
the
it.
talent.
Yeah, he saw the talent, so he definitely brought that. Definitely brought her to Fat Joe, to the rest of the Terror Squad. And the first time I heard Remy Ma was on on the Yeah Baby album, which was released after Big Pun's death. So right before Pun passed away, he recorded this album, his second album, and put her on, and that's when she was introduced to the world, man. So ever since then, I was like, yo, Pun has passed, Pun died, you know, I grieved, but the next one to carry the torch with that same kind of love for hip-hop, for that passion of hip-hop, that caliber of MC level, man, Remy Ma has always been on my eyes as like number one. Like I automatic, I fell in love with Remy Ma's just cadence, flow, lyricism, just her work ethic and passion for the art, man, for
Yeah,
sure.
she's dope. And I think the song that you were talking about is Miss Martin.
Yeah, Miss Martin.
And yeah, that
She
just
said-
like you,
when
that
he
was
said, sometimes to finish a man's job, you gotta send a female to do a man's job.
yeah.
Something like that. I'm sorry, I'm buzzing. I got a couple drinks in me,
When I heard that was the first track that I heard her on as well.
but that's how he introduced her.
And that's when I heard that I was like, yo, she goes in. She's holding it down for New York like that. She embodied that New York style from the female perspective. and she did it well, and she held her own. It wasn't like she was riding on the coattails of Big Pun or riding on the coattails of Fat Joe. She held her own with them, and that's why I think he respected her so much. And like you said, he didn't have the pull to put her on, but he's like, I'm gonna put you on anyways because your talent can't be denied. And once they see what I'm seeing,
yeah, and he was on, so
and yeah, he was on. So it was like there's, and the track I also remember on was "You Was Wrong" because
wrong.
Yep, because I used to fuck with Drag On Tough. That was
Drag
my
On,
dude.
Rough Riders.
Rough Riders. I used to.
Shout to Eve.
Yeah, I used to fuck with Rough Riders hard, man. And Drag On was my dude. Yeah. I liked his flow. He wasn't lyrically dense, but I liked his flow. And when I heard her on this track, I used to listen to anything that Drag On was on.
Yeah, Drag On was sick.
And then I heard her on this track, and then I was like, Fat Joe and Big Pun, and that's heavy hitters right there, like hitting right there. And then to have her on there, to me, again, validated, yo, this is where she belongs. It's not, she's not fitting in, she's in.
She was on the Big L album too.
Yep.
Big L, Big Picture album.
Yep, on the Tibero.
Yep. Triborough.
Tibero, I'm sorry.
Triborough.
That's
Man,
right.
I can
3
go
boroughs,
forever.
Yeah. That again solidified her place. She was also on the track "We Thuggin'," the remix rather, with R. Kelly, Noriega, Busta Rhymes, and Fat Joe. She killed it on that shit. I forgot about that actually. Man, she's just been around for a minute and staying consistently, like 2000, putting out a track, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2008, 2009, and then she had the stint, of course. And then 10, 11, 12, like she consistently puts out songs, and all of the songs, she's killing it. So she's consistent. She has the talent.
Man, what I respect so much, and you nailed it, what I respect so much is that she's consistent.
Exactly.
For a person to get put on by the greatest of all times, then go away for a vacation, be in prison for a while, and then come out with the same flow or even better.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. Like really, like if you put yourself in that position, if you went away, whatever it may be, let's just say you went to prison and you came out, I'd be like, fuck rap. I want to go teach, or I want to go plant my garden.
That's real.
Like your mind changes.
Yeah, your
right?
mind changes because you've been out the game so long. It's like
you onto a new chapter in life, right?
That's like
we grow up and be adults.
That's like going to middle school, miss all of high school, and then come back out and saying, you know what?
I'm gonna be a cook.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what?
For no goddamn reason.
Like shit, yeah. Like you gotta get back in the flow, and it just felt like she never missed a beat.
I respect that because I'm in that position. I'll put it out there. Like I disappeared from music. I want to get away from it. I hate it. You know, I hate rap right now. But now I'm coming back to it because there's new breaths out there.
Yeah,
fresh breath of life out there.
The love is there.
The love is there. This podcast is there. Give it up right now, man. Clap it up right now for the Sonic Breakdown, for bringing back life.
We trying, man. We're trying one listener at a time.
Into the art of everything, not just music, but the art of everything. But to bring it back to Remy Ma, man, like for real, like I don't know. I don't know what would happen if I was in jail, in prison for a long ass time, and then come back and still be hungry.
Yeah.
And still be on that mic like nothing's changed. Like I'm here and I'm better.
And still
I whoop anybody's ass.
Yeah, like literally when I listen to All the Way Up remix, or All the Way Up, rather not the remix, because she's on the original, with Fat Joe, like she's going in as if literally like this is her first day on the scene. Like she's like she's trying to get a deal. Like she's cool, she's good. Like I'm sure whatever's going on, Fat Joe got her, bruh. Like, cause from my experience or what I've seen with Fat Joe and everybody in Terror Squad, they have a sense of loyalty, like true loyalty, and it's hard to find in music. Period, that sense of true loyalty. There's a few crews that I feel have it. ASAP Rocky's crew, the ASAP Mob, Pro Era, TDE, and J. Cole's Dreamville.
Mm-hmm.
Like those crews, I feel have a real sense of loyalty. Like regardless of what happens in the music, what happens with the money, what happens with everything, they're gonna hold their crew down. Just period. And I feel that with Terror Squad. So again, I'm sure she's cool, but she's still rapping like I'm starving. Like she ain't ate in years. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that is another aspect of what I respect about her is because the true greats, just like when we had the Prince podcast, what did we say about Prince? This man has been doing it forever, and he's still making a song a day. That shows the hunger. That shows the thrive, the love of music.
It was all he knew.
And she's showing that same thing. So you gotta give respect and deference, in essence, to those that are putting in that work and that are putting in that time. And Remy Ma is one of those people. So I definitely think that's somebody you should check out. Check back her discography. Check back those songs we just named. You know, look at that stuff. Check out her album that came out in 2014, I'm Around. Again, the title alone states it. She's around. She's been around. She's been doing this. She's doing this. And
let me say this. When we was younger, in high school, when we want to act hard, we listen to 50 Cent's album, right?
That's real.
Let's just keep it real.
That's real.
If you're a female and you going through some shit and you want to beat somebody's ass,
or
you want to empower yourself as a lady, as a woman, listen to Remy Ma.
Yeah, you after listening to her album, you walk out your room, the car, wherever you at, like, oh, nobody's fucking with me.
You might go to jail too, but but just control yourself. So, parental advisory.
Yeah, big ups to Remy Ma. Like I again, Remy Ma or Rhapsody, there are female artists out here, female lyricists that are killing it. And to me, it's a little bit sad that we even have to have this conversation of female versus male or male and female, that we can't just have like a rap debate.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact, it's just, I'm gonna just put it out there. Dope females like Rhapsody, Remy Ma, they're not getting the love that they deserve. People are not resonating with them as well as they deserve. They're not buying their albums at the amount that they deserve.
And probably for the same reason that I actually threw out that disclaimer. When you just hear a female verse, you're like, that's a female.
Yeah, and they automatically
because the art is dominated by males, right?
Yeah,
and listeners are predominantly male, but at the same time, like they're there.
They're there. You just gotta find them, and and once you find them, you gotta be open-minded to it. When I found Rhapsody, like I said, even in my review, take out male, take out female, take out race, take out gender, take out anything you want. She's dope. Remy Ma, same thing. Take out all that stuff. Take out the fact that she's been to prison. Take out any disclaimer, any qualifications you want to make. She's dope. So, again, for all the males out there, this is my challenge to you. If you say you're really about female equality, being open-minded, you'll check out these artists that we're talking about because they're worth being mentioned. They're worth being listened to. And if you think that they're as dope as we're saying they are, you'll show them love as well, because it's needed. Not just, again, I don't want to say just because they're females. It's just needed. Good artists need to be appreciated and shown that love, because by social media, because if you don't do that, the businesses don't see them as being profitable. If they don't see them as being profitable, they don't want to invest in them. If they don't want to invest in them, we don't get the music. So it all goes back to, I'm being selfish. I want good music. Shit. I'm going to be selfish. I want good music. And these artists are giving good music, so let's do what we can to support them. So that, for me, that wraps up Remy Ma. Another artist that I think we should give some love to is Jean Grae.
Jean Grae's been around for a minute.
Yes.
And I've been rocking with Jean Grae as long as I've been rocking with Common, as long as I've been rocking with Mos Def, as long as I've been rocking with Talib Kweli, as long as I've been rocking with The Roots. She's been around, and I rock with her, man.
Let me touching back on my nerd quality again. Jean Grae got me from the name first. Jean Grae is, if you don't know,
book ass.
a comic book character. She's in the X-Men. So that I was like, whoa. I think I don't. And at first, when I first heard of
And
her,
yes, D-Ray still rocks X-Men underwear.
yep, I do. I got Avengers on right now.
Them tidy whities.
No, they're boxer briefs. I fuck with the boxer briefs. You gotta hold everything together, but you still get a nice breeze. No, no, but for us, I do rock with the boxer briefs. So if you want to send me any, hey,
Donations.
any Fruit of the Looms, Under Armour, y'all want to send me some boxer briefs? You know, hey, we're open for endorsements. But yeah, back to Jean Grey. That's what got me initially to check her out, just based on the name. She is a Brooklyn rapper from Brooklyn, New York. And she like Will said, she's been on the scene for a minute. Never getting the love she deserves to me. But she's also from Southtown, Africa. Like she lived in she was born actually in Cape Town, South Africa. And then she moved to New York. So I can hear some of that accent come out in some verses, some tracks on certain words. That is still there. And I do want to mention going forward as well is that she does have a new album out called I Sweater Guard, which is on iTunes now. I've really only listened to it once. My first listen, I thought it was a decent album. I do need to listen to it more to dive deeper into it to really determine
Take your time.
how well it is. But from my first listen, it's a pretty good album. I do think she's dope. I do think she has I want to say a softer approach than the previous rappers that we talked about, Rhapsody and Remy Ma. But it's not
as soft as if you can remember Bahamadia.
exactly.
Bahamadia was super light, swift, but lyrical. But she's, you know what? To take it back to Rhapsody, a lot of people that have been fans of Jean Grey can hear Jean Grey in Rhapsody.
Exactly.
So if you listen to Rhapsody right now, it's it's not exactly the same, but if you're a fan of hip hop, you kind of pick little pieces of it.
Yeah, because Rhapsody's diverse. There's tracks where she's rapping hard, like I said, hard, and then there's other aspects where she's a lot softer. And in those softer aspects, I do hear some Jean Grey or some Jean Grey influence or Rhapsody's influence on Jean Grey. However you want to put it, whoever came first, whatever. You can hear that the juxtaposition between the two that is not too far off in some aspects. Ninth Wonder again does produce and is associated with Jean Grey as well. I don't know if it's to the extent that he is with Rhapsody.
No.
But
It's more direct with Rhapsody.
Okay, and that's what I thought.
That's for sure.
But like you said, she's been tight with the Roots, Talib Kweli, of course, Mos Def, Pharoah Monch, Immortal Technique, and just those names alone should tell you that if those artists, those rappers, those musicians are messing with you, speaks to the quality at which you possess.
Because they don't just rap with anybody.
Exactly.
It's like Jay-Z. Jay-Z doesn't rap with everybody.
Exactly. Birds of a feather flock together. And they really stick to that
There's
philosophy.
There's got to be a high reason.
Yeah, you have to earn their respect to say, okay, you can roll with us. You can roll with the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Because Immortal Technique, Pharoah Monch, Mos Def, The Roots, Talib Kweli, those are giants in the game. I don't care what you say. I don't care if they made as much money as Jay-Z or not. Those are still giants in the game. No, real hip hop heads won't dispute Talib Kweli, won't dispute The Roots, won't dispute Mos Def, Immortal Technique. Like again,
Solidified.
yeah. So if they're messing with her, that indicates the level of quality that she's bringing. Again, she's somebody that's really dope that I think you should check out. Check out her new EP. Give it some love. If you like it, give it a shout out. If you don't give it a shout out. Say why you didn't like it. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the artists that we named so far. But we have a couple of more names on here that we're going to try to go through quickly. We know, time is getting a little away from us because we gave Rhapsody and Remy Ma so much love. But another.
And this concludes the podcast of Female MCs. No, definitely.
So these are lesser known MCs for me. These are some MCs that I've recently discovered doing my research for this podcast specifically.
But still nice enough to make this list.
Exactly. I'm
not going to disregard them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, and we wouldn't just put names on the list just to get some names on the list. If we thought Rhapsody, Remy Ma, and Jean Grey were literally the only ones worth making this podcast, we would stop it right now. But these other three artists, four artists, pardon me, we think should get some love and some recognition. The first one that I'll talk about is Sasha Go Hard. She's from Chicago. She's been out for, I won't say too long, but she's been writing lyrics since she was 12. One of the things that she did say was, "I've always been writing these types of rhymes, even as a child." And when she said that line, it was real. Because like I said, she's been writing this stuff since she's been 12. The song that I heard Sasha Go Hard sing is Own Lane. That's the first song that I heard Sasha Go Hard rap on. And to me, she has her cadence, she has a somewhat faster cadence. She spits kind of hard, that is congruent with other Chicago rappers. But she has that smoothness that you can hear in a Common, Kanye, you know what I'm saying? Those Chicago rappers as well. And in Own Lane, she basically is saying, you know, she's trying to find her own lane. How she can separate herself from others. But the thing that I took away from that was that she's lyrically proficient as her Chicago counterparts. That's basically what I took away from her. I do need to dive deeper into her collection to determine if she's consistent at that level of lyrical proficiency. So that I don't know, and that I can't speak to. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you guys. So that's why I can't go too far deep into that. But I do think, based on the one or two tracks that I've heard from her, she is definitely worth listening to more.
I'll give that one a thumbs up. Because you put me onto her, and I'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, like I can't go extra hard on that based on that song like I did with Rhapsody or something like that. But again, like I said, it's worth listening to.
Yeah, I wasn't turned off. Like I said, it only takes like few seconds for me to get turned off from a female MC.
Yeah.
So I listened through that track. So
yeah, you did it. Yeah, that's right.
Thumbs up.
The next artist that we want to talk about is Invincible. She's also from Illinois as well. But one of the tidbits of facts that I want to mention that caught my eye, that caught my attention is, and that shows her dedication for hip hop is, when she was 1, she moved to Israel, and she learned the language at that point, so she didn't know English, and the way that she learned the way that the thing that inspired her to learn English was so that she can listen to hip hop songs. Like that was her motivating factor.
I'm sold.
And learning English was, I want to understand what they're saying in these hip hop songs. I like the production. I like the way it sounds, but I don't know what they're talking about.
Now that's dedication.
And to me, exactly. That shows, that's love.
That's love.
And for her to take the time to learn English just for that purpose indicates that, you know, she's trying to go in. Another thing that I want to say is she is also a social activist. So you can hear that lyrical consciousness in her songs. The first song that I heard was Sledgehammer. And I want to go to the end of the song, which kind of preface why the song's called Sledgehammer. And there's a quote or a statement from, I'm not sure who the person is that's talking, but they're saying that the way that you get somebody's attention is you hit them with a sledgehammer, in essence. And that sets up, even though it concludes the album, it sets up how, like, from the beginning of the song, she like the song, the beat progresses,
Hits you over the head.
and she literally from the first line goes in so hard. It's like it's literally like hitting you with a sledgehammer.
that
like
quote.
that.
That quote said, "No longer can you just tap somebody's shoulder to get somebody's attention.
Exactly.
Nowadays, you
You gotta hit him with a sledgehammer.
You gotta hit him with a sledgehammer."
And that's what she did from that first line in the song. She hit you with a sledgehammer, and it got my attention because I was looking through a list of like 20, 30 female MCs in research for this, and I was going through the list, listening to each song, and I got to this, and I was like, without reading the title, I was just going song next, song next, and basing it on what I was hearing, and I was like, oh, wow, she came out the box hard. And then when it got to the end of the song, I was like, oh, it all makes sense. And so she does come out the box like that. She is hitting you with one of the things that I did pick up on that I really enjoyed was the sports metaphors, the sports references, because I am outside of comic books. I love sports and comics, and you got me. D-Ray's in. You got him. And the sports references really got me is because they weren't just your average sports references. It shows that she has more in-depth knowledge of the intricacies of sports and what's going on with these athletes, which to me is exciting. Finding a woman that is in touch with sports to the level that I am is attractive. Let's just put it out there. Ladies,
Hit
know
me
about
up.
sports. No, but again, no, for real. So she hits you with the head from the verse. She goes in. Again, I think she's somebody that you should look into deeper. Especially the fact that she had that level of dedication. I can only imagine the level of dedication that she has now that she knows the language and has a strong comprehension of it, and how she's going to apply that to her own music. What was your first instincts about that particular track, Sledgehammer?
I was nodding my head throughout it, and I give it two thumbs up, man.
Cool.
I respect it, especially when it's new blood. When it's new blood, I can listen to it. All right, cool. I respect it. Keep it moving. But it's definitely something that'll keep me in tune to either check out more tracks throughout her projects, and then be on the lookout and always keep that on the radar.
Gotcha. All right. Well, the next artist that we want to move to, I'm just gonna really fast recap the ones that we went through, just in case you guys lost track. Rhapsody, check her out. Jean Grae, check her out, and that's Grae. If you don't know how to spell the Gray, Remy Ma, Sasha Go Hard, and Invincible. Those are the ones that we went through so far. The next one that I do want to talk about is No Name Gypsy. Well, she was going by No Name Gypsy. She's now just going by No Name. I first heard No Name Gypsy, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase. I first heard No Name on Comfortable. It's a Mick Jenkins album off of the album The Waters, which I constantly praise, like I do Rhapsody, Beauty and the Beast. I think The Waters is an underrated album. It has a very smooth feel from beginning to end. It's very jazz oriented. Feel as well. It's very just smooth, and it's very lyrically dense, lyrically conscious. It's a really good album. The concept of the waters and the different variations and different forms and properties that water has is constituted throughout the album. So it's definitely worth checking out. But I heard her on Comfortable on that album, which was one of my favorite, tracks on that album, which that beat is also used for Too Hot to Riot, Boss, which we also did a podcast on. See how all this connects. Like that's how music works. It connects on all those levels. We just connected like 4 or 5 artists based on one production track.
Pay attention.
So that's how we break down stuff, guys. So think about that. Back to No Name. Uncomfortable. She has a great verse. It's a really good track. And she emphasizes her smoothness on that album. And the track that I let you hear as well, Sunday Morning, is more of a lighter a play for her that I've heard. A lighter, more, like it says, like Sunday Morning, a light feeling track. It has a nice ease to it, and it shows her a more artsy side than uncomfortable. It's more of her more lyrical, dense, more strong hip hop bass side. So it shows that she has diversity. She's very lyrically conscious, but even though she does, to me, rap with an edge, she still maintains her female quality, her girly-ish side, if you will. That to me separates her from, let's say, a Remy Ma. Remy Ma, not saying that Remy Ma is masculine or anything of that nature, but she tends not to show
She's
her
not
more
the brat.
vulnerable. Yeah, exactly. Which, and again, I'm not saying either of these things is a bad thing. It's just a difference. So I don't want to get mentions about that I'm dissing Remy Ma or nothing like that. I'm not dissing anybody. I'm just saying there's differences, and we gotta respect those differences.
Or
So
you don't like lesbian rappers? Like the brat?
I didn't say that, y'all. I didn't say that. Yeah. I love
Why you
everybody.
hate on lesbians though?
I love everybody. Hey, do what you do. So yeah, but no name Gypsy. I think she deserves some love and some recognition. One of the lines that I do want to take away from Sunday Morning, that really caught my eye and that to me showed her lyrical abilities is, close your third eye and look with your real eyes. To me, that's a pretty dope line, of like,
Yeah, I caught
I
that
took
too.
it as really like, take what's in front of you, see what's really there. You know what I'm saying? And just the simplicity, but the complexity of that line in itself is really dope. And again, to me, means she's thinking deeper than you might think, and that you should really delve deeper into her lyrics and what she's saying. Yeah.
Next on the list is
The
let me
the
bust it
last and final is Ciroc.
Sa Rock.
Ooh.
There you go.
S-A Rock, R-O-C.
Sa Rock.
Based on the tracks that I've heard from her, I'm tempted. I'm inkling to putting her on the pedestal of Rhapsody. Again, I need to do more to see if she's as consistent as Rhapsody is, because I haven't heard anything bad from Rhapsody. There, seriously. So I need to find that out. But the song that I heard was Code of Hammurabi. And if you don't know what that is, I'm gonna give you, because I had to do research to find out what that was. I didn't know what it was, but after I researched it, I actually saw this piece of art at the Louvre. Code of Hammurabi is the oldest deciphered writing of significant length in the world. So there's a tablet or a piece of stone that has basically written in it codes that were meant for law, that tells you, what you can do, what you can't do.
Yeah. Shout out to all the nerds in the world for that one. Sure.
Exactly.
Shout out to all the nerds in the world.
And
Thank you, D-Ray, for researching that.
it was preserved for the Babylon Law, and that's what is written in there, the Babylon Law Code. And it was written in 1754 BC. And basically it had, like I said, all the laws that were supposed to be established and executed at that point for Babylon, in that region. And so my understanding of taking that, and again, it's right now it's at the Louvre. It's a nice piece of art. I don't think my memory of when I saw it, they only had a portion of it because it was broke, and I'm not sure if they found the other piece. I don't believe they have. I believe that's the only piece. That's why it's considered the oldest and the largest piece of deciphered writing that we can find. But when I read that and I read the definition of what that meant and what that code was, to me, basically, she's saying that in this flow, in this freestyle, well, not in this freestyle, in this song, she's giving us what she considers the code of law. Like, she's breaking it down for us because basically she's saying I have deciphered the oldest writing schemes, and I'm gonna give it to y'all. I'm gonna give y'all the secrets in essence. Like, um, remember they had the DVD that came out, The Secrets, and it was supposed to tell you how to enlighten your mind and do all
Yeah.
this other stuff.
I got it right here, right behind me. We actually have it in the studio.
Actually, I got it. I got it at the house too. But basically, it seems like she's taking her own version of that in the song, and she goes in from the very beginning. She goes in, and the other thing that I did notice, and to be honest, I didn't notice it the first time, but I noticed it when I let you hear it as well. Is there's no chorus. There's literally no chorus. The
You just reminded
instrumentation,
me.
the instrumentation is the chorus.
Yeah.
And then she goes into the second verse and then into the third verse.
Yeah, we don't need choruses.
But to me, to that's pretty ambitious to do that because hooks nowadays can make or break a song. Like if that was one of the criticisms they had against Kendrick and on Good Kid, Mad City. They said his hooks weren't good enough, and that he should take a key from Drake because Drake has nothing but hooks, but lyrical content isn't there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not shooting fires at Drake. I'm just saying what has been said. Anyways, but for her to have that ambition and say my lyrics are well enough that I will take out a hook altogether, and that I have faith in the production alone to speak as my hook, again, to me is, like I said, ambitious and daring, if you say. And it allows you to me, I noticed that it gave breath in between the verses because the verses are so lyrically dense that by having no chorus, it gave you time to digest and ingest the lyrical content of those verses. And maybe that's just me thinking too deeply into it, but that's how I took it, and as why she took it that route. And that song to me really is a sense of poetry, in the way that it's structured and the way that she executed it.
Yeah. And like I told you earlier, out of all the newbies on this list, that's the one that stood out the most.
Yeah, that's
For
why I
sure.
said they're the
For
best
sure.
for last. Well, I won't say
Save
the
the best
best, but
For last.
one of the newbies, I saved her for last because I think she's worth checking out. So again, Ciroc, hey, we're trying to give you some love. If you can show us some love, we would appreciate that. I don't know, but for reals, all of the artists that we mentioned today, I definitely think deserve some love, deserve you checking out, deserve you taking a listen to, and looking into their discography. And tell us maybe some female MCs that we don't know about, that we didn't discover, that should have been on this list or that should give us some love. And maybe on the next podcast we will give them some love, because we really do want to elevate and try to highlight the people that deserve the love, not just the people that are in the mainstream that are making the most money, that have the higher chance of giving us some residuals by speaking us out because we gave them love. No, this is really about the love of music, about who we think deserves more love, who we think deserves more shine, that maybe isn't getting it, because one of the statements of the website is the lifestyle that begins and flows through music. So the music is what is the center. The music is the sun of this universe for the sonicbreakdown.com. Everything else revolves around that. And so the essence of the music is what we're trying to get at. And so that's why we said, again, Rhapsody, Remy Ma, Jean Grey, Sasha Gohard, Invincible, No Name, and Ciroc. Like,
You guys be the judge now.
yeah, you guys be the judge. We're
You guys
just
be the judge of this awesome list that we put together.
yeah,
And it's our list.
yeah.
It's not everybody's list, but
Exactly.
it's our list. But definitely look into it and see what we see.
Yeah, like
A lot of respect on this list, though.
like Kendrick said, we just putting it out there like smoke. If you decide to inhale, that's on you.
That's on you. If you smoke, it's on you.
Yeah,
If you
that's on
don't
you.
smoke,
If you don't,
still on you.
exactly, it's on you. We just putting it out there like smoke. We putting it out there in the atmosphere. If you want to inhale what we putting out there, then go ahead. If not, no love lost. We still love you, and so we're gonna leave that podcast right there.
Yeah. Two, actually, you know what? While we were all in the mix of this, I want to go ahead and add just two more people to this list that I respect and that I've recently tuned into. One of them being Tink.
Oh,
Tink is
Yeah.
is Timbaland's latest protege, so definitely check out Tink.
yeah, I agree.
Tink goes hard.
Yeah, I
And like I said, I can't vouch for too many female MCs because I tuned out real quick, just like the WNBA. Everybody knows about the WNBA, right? Like, ain't nobody dunking. Okay, nobody's gonna do a 360 dunk. Okay, no one's gonna shoot a Steph Curry 3-pointer. Okay, I'm gonna tune out real quick. But I'm not hating on the WNBA.
they
But,
need love too. Yo, support your WNBA. LA Sparks.
all female sports support them for
No,
sure.
for real. We
But
do support.
but I want to go back to Tink. Tink is dope because right when I first heard about her, I actually tuned in because again, I've been tuned out of music and I've been away from music. And then when I listened to her, I was like, you know what? She's dope. She is dope. She understands the art. She understands at her age how powerful her message can be
Yeah.
because not everybody understands that. Everybody kind of gets into
And
the
even
mode
if-
of being an artist and being on the scene, in the scene, and then just throw out music out there. But she understands her position, just like Kendrick knows
And
understands his position.
It's not even just the fact of understanding your position. It's caring about, because some people understand that they have that position and that they understand that they should, but they don't care enough to do.
Yeah,
Because
True.
I think you got to add that in there too.
Good point,
because
good point.
It's like people know and they just don't care enough to do it
yeah,
because they rather make the money. The fact that she cares enough, like we said, Kendrick cares enough that they decide, because in essence they're forfeiting some of their money because they could be bigger if they acquiesce to all the things that needed to be acquiesced to make the money and to say the politically correct things. They're saying what needs to be said, which is elevating the art and staying true to the art, because that's what that hip hop was based on, saying things that needed to be said, not what the media or society wants you to say. It was based on what needed to be said, what was the real feelings of the street, and they're staying
being
true to that art.
Yeah.
So you said Tink, and then you said one.
Tink, and then one more that I recently liked off the latest, the last Common album is Dreezy.
Oh,
Dreezy. She's on the track Go Harder.
yeah.
Hustle Harder. Sorry, the track is Hustle Harder. And then she's the last one on that track. She's the one that goes after Common,
Was that on?
and that was off of the album Nobody Smiling.
Yeah. That album was underrated to me.
That's a good album.
Yeah.
I still have it in my rotation right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, but I did forget about, and you're right, on that track, she goes in. She goes in. The production on the track is crazy too, though.
No
Right.
ID on most of the tracks.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dreezy from Chicago. She's up and coming from Chicago. Common's putting her on that album. And then going back to Tink. Tink is right under Timbaland. Still waiting for projects though. Still waiting for a project. Still waiting for an album. But hopefully this build up is worth it.
Yeah. So definitely check out all the artists that we talked about today. Like I said, leave a comment about other artists that we should have talked about, or tell us about your feelings about the artists that we did talk about. So again, continue rocking with the Stay Woke podcast. We are on iTunes. Also check in and look at the sonicbreakdown.com. We have album reviews. We have the breakdowns, which are the album reviews. We also have the You See Me videos. We have some great Terrence Martin videos from the San Francisco Jazz Festival with the lovely, beautiful Rose Gold. They did a performance. James Fauntleroy also did a performance in that at that concert. So if you know those, James Fauntleroy was on the Kendrick album. He was also on ASAP Rocky's album. James Fauntleroy is pretty. He's out there, man. If you don't know about him, check him out. Rose Gold, like I said, she's a beautiful, amazing, smooth singer. Check out her. Check all that information out. TheSonicBreakdown.com. Stay Woke Podcast on iTunes, and check with our social media pages: Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Snapchat, all of them. TheSonicBreakdown.com, The Sonic Breakdown, or either The Sonic Breakdown. So again, I want to give our producers some love. Thank you.
Thank you. You can find me on Tinder.
And
hey, that'll be an up and coming podcast. We gotta talk about that one.
We're gonna have to bring that up.
I'm having fun with that one.
Yeah, let us know if you think we should have a relationship. 2016, what it's like to date in America.
This computer stuff is crazy.
And computer stuff. So leave a comment on that. So shout out to William West for producing the podcast and staying on and hosting with me. This is D-Ray Brinson. Again, this is SonicBreakdown.com, presented by this is the Stay Woke Podcast, presented by the SonicBreakdown.com. So check back with us. Again, we will constantly put up new podcasts. We're branching out. We're trying to do as much as we can. So donate. That helps support all that information, all those things. You know the motto: live, love, and above all, listen to some great music.
Mm-hmm.